We now know the men's group stage matches, and now it is time to see the match schedule for the women's tournament. All group stage matches of the women's event will take place in Sylhet. The group stage matches of the women's event see double headers on every match day. The opening game of the women's event will see defending champions Australia take on its Trans-Tasman rivals New Zealand in what is guaranteed to be a super opener. Later the same day, South Africa will go up against Pakistan in what will surely be a great battle of skills. On March 24, former champions England will be facing the West Indies, followed by India, who will compete against Sri Lanka. The girls from New Zealand will be facing the Ireland team for the first matchup of the day on 25th March. The second match of the day will see reigning champions Australia take on South Africa. On Bangladesh's Independence Day, March 26, the girls from the host nation will be playing for their nation against West Indies. This is bound to be a truly magnificent day for the local fans. Later the same day, England will compete against India to conclude the day's excitement. The 27th will see Australia taking on Ireland, the latter competing in its first ICC Women's World 2020. This will be followed by New Zealand battling it out with Pakistan for another round of exciting cricket. Host team Bangladesh will once again be on the field facing the English team on March 28. Following them, the West Indies team will play Sri Lanka. The South Africa women's team will be playing Ireland for the first time in the tournament on March 29. The second match of the day will witness the Australian women's team taking on Pakistan for a win. On March 30, two neighbouring nations, Bangladesh and India, will be playing for national pride, followed by an evening match between England and Sri Lanka. The 31st of March will see two teams in green competing, Pakistan versus Ireland. Following them, New Zealand will be up against South Africa in the concluding match for the day. The 1st of April will see Sri Lanka take on Bangladesh. Later on, the battle will continue between West Indies and India. Both the matches promises to be enthralling for the fans. The top two sides of each group will then progress to the semi-finals of the event. On the 2nd, the 3rd and 4th position teams from each group will play against each other in the ranking playoffs to qualify to play in the ICC World 2020 2016's women's event in India. This concludes the group stage of the women's event. The women's tournament is sure to spark an even bigger interest in the women's game as female participation in the game continues to grow. The women's tournament is sure to light the torch for the renewed role of women's cricket in the world stage. Hope to see you all in the city of the Tea Gardens.